Hello, everyone. So, today is going to be a bit different. I think today's going to be the start of the Real Talk series. Basically, just going over things that, more or less, just, as it says, Real Talk. But, yeah. Today, just wanted to talk about, things like depression and shit. You know, yeah, it's pretty shitty, let's be honest. The like I don't know, the one of the biggest problems people like me face when you're depressed and shit. Um, it's finding a good place, a good support base and stuff. Like if you don't already have one, they're not it's hard. Like, and I'm not saying it's like uh, it's not that there aren't resources and stuff available, but like it's like you don't feel like there are things around that can help people who are around who are wanting to help you, and it's just a a shit situation is what that is. Um, for me personally, it's always been a matter of reaching out and trying to find people, and I'm not very good at that. Reaching out and trying to find ways to deal with this sort of stuff. And it hasn't been the best time for someone like me to reach out and find those support bases to people who are willing to listen to someone like me talk about stuff. And I mean, yeah, there are people who would be willing to help, to get out there and help, but it's like you don't feel like you just like in my case, it's like you don't feel like you deserve it. You know, it's really a case of just getting out there and trying to you know tell people you need help. And I implore anyone who has depression and stuff to get help and look for just talk to someone and try to find that one person who will listen to you, or those people who are willing to listen to you, even if it's just like a helpline. Because I mean, even like anything really is any really good support base, like people who are willing to listen to you, stuff like that. That's like a lot better than just sitting around not doing anything. Yeah. Um. People like there. I know there are people out there who often will associate it and you don't think you're worth it, or you think it's a burden, or you think it's a problem, and more often than not, people aren't burdened. A lot of people aren't like gonna turn you away if you're asking for help. It's just getting some people to like getting someone who doesn't have to like getting who doesn't have certain problems to understand, or getting rid of the stigma that there are a lot of people in even in today's society who seem to think that a lot of these problems are just well, they're not problems, and that's not entirely the case. But yeah, it just really boils down to I mean, how much are you willing to how much how willing are you to look for that help? Because that's what half of the that's half of it, is making sure that you're looking for help too, and not just trying to like sit there and not do anything. I mean, yeah, I do that a lot. I just sit there and I don't really look for help or ask for help or try to talk about stuff. But I mean, it's one way to get help and to really start to improve a situation. But the first step has to be made. And I mean, sometimes I mean, yeah, I'll acknowledge that some people can't really make the first step on their own. They need to have someone there who's willing to help them, but not everyone has that. And I mean, I'm certainly someone who didn't really, you know, who didn't feel like they had a lot of help, who kind of felt a little helpless when it all began. Because I don't think it really didn't feel like anyone like it didn't feel like it was believed at the time that I did have, and then when I was diagnosed, well, then it just became a case of trying to feel better and stuff. And I guess that's just some kind of pit you fall into, is that it's something you're going to live with for your entire life, and it's really learning how to manage it rather than trying to like just like straight up feel better, because it's you can't just straight up feel better all the time. You're going to have those bad days, and you're going to need somebody to be there for you. And it's like, I don't know. I've been told that it's by some people that they see it as a weakness or a burden, like I said, burden, stuff like that. It's not. It really isn't. It's it's something that, yeah, you're probably not going to want to share with a lot of people, but you're going to need to talk to them. Otherwise, you're not getting help, and then it's just like it's like a feed. It's a vicious cycle, and eventually that can lead to some pretty bad places. And I can attest that I've been to those bad places before. At least my version of what those are. It's not the same for everyone. No one's gonna suffer the same way, but there is a small understanding between people who suffer from depression and stuff that, yeah, we're all gonna have like something to relate to, that one thing, and that's generally the depression itself or the anxiety or whatever. Everyone suffers differently. This is basically what I'm trying to say, and if you don't get help, then it's gonna get worse. More or less the TLDR of that whole little bit I was going on about. But yeah, it really, getting people to understand and like just to take notice of stuff. It's not like, you know, it's not like people are gonna like. Well, most people should, like your family. They shouldn't sit there and like. They shouldn't be sitting there and judging you. They should be the ones who are the easiest to talk to. But I know that's not always the case. Believe me. It's really just uh, you know, what it really boils down. I've said it like plenty of times now. I'm just, yeah, it's one of those days for me too. But yeah, really, it's garbage, is what it is. And the whole idea that mental images stuff, like mental sickness and stuff, isn't really real. It's kind of like, I don't know. I think some people, it really is a case of people not wanting to understand, or people who don't understand. And it sucks. It really does. But yeah. So just wanted to thank everyone for listening to me do a little small rant today. Uh, Remember that if you ever need help or anything, make sure you're talking to people, and that you're looking for help, and that you're not like not like pushing yourself into a corner that you're ultimately not going to be able to get out of. Because then it's just a case of, well, what's gonna end up happening? What's gonna happen to you? You know? And you don't want anything bad to happen to you. That's not the that's really not what anyone wants. But really, that's all I wanted to say today. It's yeah. I hope everyone has a good day, and thank you for listening.